Hey guys, it's YodaJoe93, and it's time we rank all of the Transformers live action and animated movies from the worst to the best. So, we're going to be doing this list, we're going to be looking at all the flaws, all the reasons why some Transformers movies are good, some are bad, and some are, it was good, but it can be better. Coming at number 8 on the list, we have the Transformers Age of Extinction. Now, a lot of movies get these titles for the Age of Ultron, Age of Extinction. Age of Things usually leads to some big things. But with this movie, unfortunately, we have some issues to dive into. For starters, so the designs here, some clunky Michael Bay action, but there is some good stuff, like, it's got a decent villain. Lockdown is a very Lockdown is a very terrifying villain. It's nice to see Galvatron here. I thought those things worked pretty decently. It's got a good cast. You got Stanley Tucci. This movie is too long for, first of all, the wait for the Dinobots is what killed this movie 100%. But the biggest issue we have with this movie is, unfortunately, this movie shows that Michael Bay doesn't care for people that have a problem with pedophilia. Is that how you'd say it? So I feel like, so let me explain, guys. So in the previous 3 Transformers movies, Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox are together for 2 of them, and then your human character change, and then you have Shia LaBeouf with the one Victoria's Secret model, and then Shia LaBeouf goes away completely, and we get Mark Wahlberg. Well, now the story centers on Mark Wahlberg's 16-year-old daughter, and some 30 to 25-year-old, I guess you would call him a race car driver. So this movie doesn't care about giving us the Transformers stuff that we care about. It focuses on this stupid plot of bringing these 2 characters together, and like, what the hell? I don't want to see this shit in a Transformers movie. I don't want to see this shit, period. So, to me, that's why this movie is at number 8. It's got some saving graces, but I just can't get past the clunkiness, the bad writing, and oh god, that's the length of this movie. It's forgettable, and it just doesn't deliver as an overall Transformers movie. And the stuff with his daughter just isn't very interesting to me, which is sad because you'd think this would be a recipe for greatness with Marky Mark, but unfortunately it's not. Coming in at number 7 on the list, we have the next one on our list is going to be at number 7 is Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. Now, Revenge of the Fallen has Revenge of the Fallen had a lot of promise, following up the great 2007 film. I thought was very well done and handled it in a way that I think we both respect and love. But here's where things get a little bad here. So you get the 2000s. We follow up, but there's so many writers' problems. We were actually in a writer's strike back then, just like we were today. And then the writers came back and they only had a couple of weeks to shoot the movie. So that's why this movie's a mess. Weird subplots, weird dogs humping other dogs. Like it's a weird situation. This movie is weird. And there's some good things in here. The force battle with Optimus Prime is badass and delivers, and it's pretty cool. Megatron's pretty interesting how they use it. The globe drumming adventure like Indiana Jones is kind of interesting. The Will, Megan Fox, and Shia LaBeouf break up, not break up stuff drama is a bit over the top. The worst thing was the racist robots in this movie. The timing, the crude humor, the jokes, it just wasn't that good. And unfortunately, just some weird concepts, some weird sexualization moments with one of the Transformers being like a attractive college female in disguise, putting a new spin on the robots in disguise. A good soundtrack, but overall, just a mess of a movie. Alright. Coming in at number 6 on the list, we have Transformers: The Last Knight. Okay, so The Last Knight on this list is, so this movie, unlike Age of Extinction, this movie knows that it's shit, and it sticks to it. It's got Anthony Hopkins, it's trying to be schlocky. We got evil Optimus Prime coming in from space to fight Bumblebee in an epic robot death match. Mark Wahlberg actually gets in on the action in this one. There's a whole subplot about the Merlin conspiracy theories with Merlin and with the one chick being the daughter of Merlin, and then apparently Marky Mark is the like chosen one of this like whole Transformers universe, which was pretty interesting. I was interested in it. I thought they did a good job here. So that's why this one gets number 5 on the list. And I thought this was it's a schlocky mess, but it's fun, and it's got its moments. And Anthony Hopkins completely steals this movie and makes it work. Alright, coming at number, so that was number 6 on the list. Coming at number 5. Number 5 on our list is, okay, so we did, okay, I'm trying to remember where we're at. So we did Transformers, okay, I'm trying to remember which ones we're on. Alright, so coming at number 5 on the list, we have Transformers 86. Now, this might be a little lower or higher for some people's perspective, but the thing with this movie is, you know, this movie only applies if you guys watch the 80s cartoon. If you guys did not watch the 80s cartoon, this movie's not for you. It's not going to tell a story that you're going to be happy with. It's not going to give you the feelings that you want. I mean, the death of Optimus Prime's in here, Megatron, but you won't feel that connection to these characters when the new characters step in if you didn't watch it. So to me, I still quite enjoy this movie as a fan of the 80s series and as a fan of the Transformers in general. I think it does its job, which is why I put it at number 5. I think it's a pretty good place. I don't have a lot of problems with it. I think 5 is just a good place for it, because 5 it's a good movie, but it's not as good as the previous ones on this list. Coming in at number 4, we have Transformers Dark of the Moon. Transformers Dark of the Moon is one of the best Michael Bay Transformers movies. So they replaced Megan Fox with the Victoria's Secret model, but she's got some good moments, some good motivation for Sam. Sam gets in on the action in here. Patrick Dempsey, who we know from the Enchanted movies, it plays our human villain, teaming up with the Decepticons, gets some great Megatron action. Megatron and Optimus taking on Sentinel Prime is pretty awesome. Great one-liners here. We get Shockwave. Shockwave's got a Kraken and a drill in this one. Really great stuff. I enjoyed this movie for what it is. It's got that typical Michael Bay action, but it delivers on a lot of its promises, and I think that's something to be commended. Coming in at number 3, it's Transformers 2007. Now, Transformers 2007 was the first live-action Transformers movie. Had a great cast: Josh Duhamel, Tyrese Gibson, and many others. And I thought that they did a great job here. I thought this movie was fun. We got to see Megatron frozen in ice. We got to see the start of Sector 7. This movie introduced Jazz, Ironhide, all our classics, and it delivered on all the promises. And just like the last movie, we had Sideswipe and we had Ironhide being bros. So this was another great one. It started the Wiki and Michaela story, and I thought this was pretty great. So I enjoy both these films. I think they're fairly good. I think Transformers 2007 has a bit better dialogue, so it's a bit higher than the other one, and great action scenes. And Scorponok looks great. Blackout looks great. So another great win, in my opinion. And ending the movie with What I've Done by Linkin Park is why it gets extra points for me. Alright, coming at number 2 on the list, we got Bumblebee. Bumblebee was a fresh take on the Transformers, bringing them back to their G1 form. Bumblebee became a bug for a little bit. Haley Steinfeld's in it. John Cena's in it. And so it's got a great cast. This is a nice, heartfelt story with John Cena and Haley Steinfeld and everyone trying to save Bumblebee. And then Sector 7 was explored. Then John Cena leaves Sector 7. Decepticons come to Earth to fight Bumblebee. And we set off into the next journey. And I thought this was quite good. I thought it really worked. I thought it tied together nicely. And I was a big fan of it. Alright, coming at number 1, Transformers Rise of the Beast. This movie introduced elements of both the 80s Transformers meets Transformers Beast Wars. So we had Transformers that turned into animals called the Maximals. And we had the Terracons and Unicrons. So this movie's got a lot, but it delivers on all fronts. It's got a great runtime, got that 80s, 90s nostalgia, got some Sonic references in there. It's just a blast. Our human characters are likable. The humans actually have a purpose in this movie. They do their job. One of them even gets in on the action. The robots are great. Pete Davidson's Mirage is fantastic. This is a win, and this is what every Transformers movie should strive to be. And the tease at the end, setting up G.I. Joe and Transformers crossing over, is huge. And I think you guys can look forward to more about that content in my next video. So let me know your guys' ranking in the comments below. My list isn't the right list. It's just my list. I'd love to hear yours. Transform in the comments. And I'm about to roll out. Have a great day.